Something.
Something else.
Esquipedalian.
Sound check. Sibilance. 1, 2.
Anti-disestablishment.
Two houses, both alike in dignity. Fair
In
Verona.
fair Verona, where our tale is set.
Well, gosh.
Ancient grudge.
Okay.
For that. Moving on.
Make civil hands unclean.
Okay, so Shakespeare aside, hello, good evening. Welcome to Garblag Games Mage Ascension Heist, played in Nonix Path's Mage 20th edition. My players are now going to tell you what they spent their XP on, and then we will leap back into the action. So, Auden, you go first.
Hello, my character Ray got nobbled quite heavily in previous episodes, so he's been learning from his experiences and has got rather more dots in survival now. He's also dropped another dot into technology because he's discovered the joy of tinkering with things and making it blow up.
Jolly good. David, what have you spent your XP on?
Hello, David. I played Jonathan, and I haven't. Jonathan is seeking further inspiration and enlightenment, so I'm saving up points for Irritate.
Somebody wants that Spirit 4 action.
Yeah, or just another dice, to be honest.
Potter.
I am playing Sweet Pea, virtual adept hacker, and I have not spent my XP yet.
Ooh, another stockpiler.
Mm-hmm.
And Claire D?
I am playing Tiana. She is a dream speaker ex-syndicate, and I have spent my XP on, similarly to Ray, alertness, survival, and stamina, and I have saved a few.
Things that keep you alive.
Oh, yes.
Okay, when last we met, our merry band of intrepid... Oh, wait, no, that's my Dungeons & Dragons intro. When last we met, our dodgy crew of slightly shifty...
You call it shifty.
I'll have you know, I'm very respectable.
They had been running an investigation into a number of sites sold by Caton Holdings and Investments by their mark, Damien Kindler. Wherein they had discovered lots of exotic and exciting things. Anybody want to fill me in?
Let's see, what have we been up to?
There was a pattern to the transactions that were carried out with Hassan Ayabayoglu and various others. There were a few sites. One was in Mile End, one was in Bermondsey, Islington, and I think, was there another one?
Paddington. But that was
Paddington,
the one we went to.
Paddington was the one that we nearly got splattered in. That was it.
You keep bringing that
up. We realised that they were all coincidentally in the same place as various unexploded bombs. And we went to have a look at some of them, and there were very high levels of spirit activity there. I believe one of them had an old laboratory in it with unpleasant-looking gurneys with chains on them.
Project Zenith.
The Mile End
yes.
establishment had big, black, horrible, oozy spirit veins all over the building. And,
so it's looking a lot like the unexploded bombs are the sources of the spirit. The bombs appear to be hermetically sealed boxes that were full of spirits that the Nazi Field Society expected to burst open, releasing evil spirits all over London during the Second World War. Project Zenith appears to be about trying to acquire these, and it looks like some kind of possibly much older government program in Mile End was about trying to tap into one. Am I doing
yes,
right?
Project Zenith, the Super Soldier program.
1957, I think there was...
Yes.
Yes. Second World War and just after.
And what happened in Paddington?
Paddington was the one where Tiana and Ray went in on their own and had to fight a zombie dog and then a crazy sewer
Rat
mutant.
Because for some
and then
reason decided going down a
left the
sewage hole was a
missile
good
down
plan.
there and ran away.
And then we went to...
put it back in the packet.
And then we went to Mile End and found this weird lab. And,
the disused lab with the strange spirit womb in it.
And I am urgently
using
cautioning
disturbing
not
words.
Oh God, fleshy membrane.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe the word sphincter was used as well.
oh,
See, I don't even mind sphincter. Fleshy membrane, though, you can't come back from that.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not. I
We
think
could
I'd rather have a fleshy
try,
membrane.
but we're not.
So I think there might have been a sphincter in the fleshy membrane.
The
That was the
Or-
problem.
It was the womb as well.
It's going to be a whole new virtual background in a moment if you're not careful.
And Ray was very keen to take the womb or the weird spinny gem or something away with us, and I was urging very much not to do that, as we don't have the power
We
to
haven't
deal
got the
with it.
containment.
The voice of caution. Yes.
Yeah, I am actually, as a former NWO agent myself, like Tiana, I'm a convert, suggesting we tip off the technocracy about these sites, because they won't try and tap these. I don't think. I think they're very likely to just try and neutralize these zones very, very thoroughly.
Neutralise.
Yes, to
Probably
just
with
destroy,
extreme prejudice.
Yeah, to burn, destroy, pave over, and just generally render non-magical.
There'll be
so-
flashy things in people's eyes.
Yeah,
There'll be
all of
Space
that.
Marines in big puffy suits.
Not yet, obviously, because we're still operating in these areas. But I think once we've got what we need, I think we pull out and just tip off NWO and get them to send
clean it all.
Yeah, send the cleaners in.
Send the cleanup crew. I think we had pretty much decided to alert them once we nobbled Damien's money transaction, which is what we're on the hook for.
Yeah,
Dust off, get someone else to nuke the site from orbit.
Yeah, basically.
I went to speak to Damo, and I pretended to be a journalist, and he was being watched. Couldn't quite tell if he was his minder or if he was spying on him as well, but being watched by someone we've identified as possibly a reported dead super soldier, who appears to have a spirit bound to his body, a la Venom, and we've decided we're not okay with this. So we think possibly the whole Zenith program was about binding spirits to people's bodies, a la Venom. So not cool.
Yes, and you
Some
went to
people
Bermondsey.
reacted to it better than others.
You went to Bermondsey and investigated the
Bermondsey
world's
was fun.
smuggest train
Was
station.
Bermondsey.
But you also visited the site that was owned by Hassam Alibeoglu as like landlord to a whole housing estate, and it was very miserable and run down. And you were shown
There was an offie.
A place of worship that didn't match your conventional take on what a place of worship should really look like.
Everyone's got their own way, man.
They have.
We're about religious
Yes,
tolerance.
but they don't all have blood channels.
Or hooks, or saws, or...
Again, everyone has their own way. We don't judge. The Verbena and the Euthanatoi are very keen on this kind of thing, by and large.
I believe you were heading to Islington to check the last site out there, weren't you?
We might as well complete the whole set.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, and
Okay.
were we going to try and spy on the weird shrine at all, or was that
I think
just an idea in my head?
well, they'd given us the idea of when it was, when
Yes,
the
they said you could come
service
back
was going to be,
later
and they
for a
said we could,
service.
yeah. Although I think possibly renewing whatever aura it was that you'd given us might be a good plan. Otherwise, we're wondering, they'd be like, "Hang on, you're not supposed to be here."
Yes, can probably do that.
Right. Very quick revision exercise. Claire, what's that you're knitting?
Skeins of fate.
Yes. All right then. So you were heading to Islington in the van, I believe it was. Your white van? Was it?
No, were we in the van?
We were in the car, weren't we?
I think we're in the car.
I think we're in the plain car.
I suppose it's already got like bits of dog carcass in it, so
It's been kind of cleaned.
It's probably got little flecks of what's that all over the place, though.
Oh, good.
So yes, a nice drive up through central London during the middle of the day. always a fun and enjoyable experience.
Oh, back across the river. Oh, it's
You
brilliant.
managed to get it
Thank
up to
you.
4 miles an hour at one point. It's
Ooh.
very
Wow.
exciting.
Well, that's 5 points in driving for you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, driving in London is hellish during the day, as you probably well know. And so you shuffle and bump and nudge your way.
Talk amongst yourselves. Could be here a while.
So
Did
you
anybody
arrive,
bring a book?
you arrive at the Islington site, and it appears to be a construction site.
Yeah,
This
interesting.
one, it's a fairly rough area. It's a bit of a funny place, is Islington. Those of you with London characters would know that it's got sort of incredible wealth and incredible poverty sort of nestled right up against one another. It's very, very strange. You have these little enclaves of fantastically rich people, and then around them, huge estates full of quite deprived poor people, literally pressed up against one another. So you see things like people leaving armored garages in their cars and making sure the gates are closed behind them because they wouldn't want the poor getting in. And you see poor people trying to go about their lives in the street, living a normal life, whilst these fantastically, overwhelmingly wealthy people just ostentatiously just breeze past them, flashing outrageous amounts of value and clothes and jewelry and shoes. So you can have two people stood next to each other, one of whom's shoes is worth as much as the other one's house, kind of thing. It's a very odd area.
It's nice here, isn't it?
Depends which window you're looking out of.
It's nice for acquiring wealth.
My boss used to live around here, the old one. The other one. Didn't take to him particularly.
Yes, the site that you have identified as being one of the property transfers from previous years to Mr. Alabeoglu is one that is currently a building site. So it looks like whatever it was has been torn down and is being completely rebuilt. And it's being rebuilt as one of these fabulous wealth enclave type buildings. It's at least a 4-bedroom townhouse in London with garden space that's being built there.
Oh, is it one of the ones with like an underground pool and everything?
That's the kind of thing that you get the vibe from when you pull up. The building company that are doing it, clearly very well paid, very well outfitted, and there's a lot going on. This is a very busy site. So you pull up kind of opposite in a small shopping arcade. Again, shopping arcade in the area, a lot of small Turkish shops.
Interesting.
Excellent. More coffee. Brilliant.
Can I take a peek into the Umbra, see what's going on there?
Oh, no,
yes,
don't do
you can. Always fun when you do that.
Oh, yeah.
I have
it looks back.
Ready.
Where's my thingy? There it is.
It's quite literally gazing into the abyss and seeing it gaze back, isn't it?
Peekaboo! Ah. That was difficulty 6. Doesn't need to be 6, does it?
It doesn't need to be 6.
4.
No. What did you actually roll? You rolled a 2, a 4, and a 7. So that's 2 successes rather than 1. If you hover over the number, you can see what the actual roll was. And that lets you peek into the Umbra and see a lot more of what's going on. Now, around here, there appears to be some form of warding thrown around this building to contain and direct any negative spirits. So while there are a few lingering bad spirits in the area alongside the ones that are generated by people living in desperation and poverty, it's nowhere near as bad as either of the other two sites. Because there's this ward stretching around the building site that is containing and directing the energies back within. So looking at it in the Umbra, it's quite crisp and clean, and the building site itself is quite crisp and clean.
Well, that's refreshing. What's kind of around the edge of this ward?
On the outside or the inside?
Either, both.
Well, outside there's like an area of clarity where there's no sort of negative spirit activity. There's not really very much activity at all. There are a few little spiders scurrying around trying to build little pattern webs, as is their way.
Yeah, Junior, there's a few of your friends down here.
Yeah.
But what is probably more concerning, could you make an awareness check to go
Oh
with?
dear.
What's on the inside?
Just awareness?
Perception awareness.
Do you want us all to make it?
Just Claire at the minute, because she's looking at it in the Umbra, so she'll be getting the vibe that way.
Oh, not fair. No.
A little bit of a pressure headache, though. It's about all you can tell from that. And yeah, there you are at the site. The problem, of course, for you now is that there are builders on site and they're building, and it's a busy site. Hard hat area, security,
Oh, she brought the van.
gates.
Sure, we can wangle something.
Pictures on the outside of the wooden paneling look lovely. It looks like a very, very modern looking townhouse. The architect's renditioning of it is fabulous. It's got all kinds of wonderful looking stuff going on. Lovely white walls, huge bay windows. There's a pond in the drawing outside.
Lovely.
Treed gardens. Looks really nice. It looks like a holiday villa.
Underfloor heating.
Well, it doesn't have that.
Subterranean garage.
But you wouldn't be at all surprised. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be a garage in the drawing, so maybe there is an underground one.
Bomb, laboratory, that sort of thing.
Everything a modern person needs.
Yeah. What am I getting a sense of the same sort of energy? Why am I doing Ray? Am I getting a sense of the same sort of energy sink that I got in the previous 3 locations?
Well, let's find out.
Yeah. What would you like me to roll?
Erite, because you are measuring the ebb and flow of the forces in the local area. Difficulty is 4.
Okie dokie.
You're a weird, muttery lunatic.
What's going on? Oh!
It's a botch.
Oh.
It's a botch.
Oh.
Have a point of paradox.
Stab myself in the eye.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a big, serious mega effect you were going for.
You all right, Ray?
No. I've got something in my eye.
It's your finger, mate.
You know, it's funny you said it. I've got this stonking headache.
Yeah. All right. Don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, you don't detect any energy drain either.
Oh, no idea. Ow.
Are you two all right?
Yeah, fine.
I just got this headache.
Yeah, I just poked myself in the eye.
Okay.
So, what do we want to do? Do we want to go
Magic
black our way
goes
in?
wrong.
Stab myself in the eye with a spoon.
Silly
Hey
bugger.
ho. Yeah, well, got to be done.
I
So,
didn't see a
do
great
you
deal
wanna
out
go
there,
in?
actually, to be fair.
Do you even want to go in?
Well, no, personally.
Well, I have this kind of sense of
We should.
wanting to collect the whole set. But they're not
Just have a good
Pokemon,
look.
so I'm, happy to go with other people.
Do we want to try and run the inspector routine again, Sweet Pea?
Could you? Yeah, why not? Worked last time.
Fucking not stab myself in the face this time. Try out my psychic paper, Pretend to be
Yeah.
official.
Yeah.
Would they have built their sprinklers yet?
We might have to be a different sort of inspector. Fair point. Well played.
Well, yeah, love. You can look at the sprinkler system, but not till we've installed it.
You're gonna have to wait around a bit. Yeah.
Well, we built the
Measuring
ceiling.
up for it.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Immigration? That could be fun. No one wants to talk to them.
Ooh. Who gets being? Who's invisible? Who do you really, really wish would go away and just want to talk to them as fast as possible to get rid of them?
I can do that.
I need a clipboard.
Sure, we can find one.
Okay, what's the plan, gang?
We're going to find a stationery shop and buy some clipboards.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have, what are you wearing? You're wearing like office wear?
Me, always.
Okay, excellent.
There we go.
Probably grey pinstripe trousers and a pink shirt.
Very nice. Probably black chinos, turtleneck jumper. There's the coat.
We're trying to get in.
Has it got those patches on the shoulders?
Yeah.
Like a donkey jacket.
Yeah. For all
Got
that,
some boiler suits if we need, I think.
Covered in spider webbing.
Yeah, currently.
Funky ones.
Spider-Man onesies.
Yeah.
They're not
Something very
Spider-Man
Cyberdog about that.
Okay. Not dissing the onesies, Junior.
But, a
Very
couple of people
useful.
in suits on a building site with clipboards isn't that unusual.
No,
Yeah.
that'll be right.
It's Sweet Pea and Ray that might be a bit more.
Well, I am the one with the psychic paper, though, so
Do
hopefully
you,
that'll work.
Do you have a couple of hard hats?
You get issued those when you sign in, don't
Yeah.
you?
No, that's true.
Issue PPE, yeah.
If you're the kind of white collar worker who's going to turn up to inspect things, presumably you sort of turn up expecting.
Some turn up with them, some expect to have them on site. It varies, doesn't it?
Yeah, they should have.
They should
some on
always
site.
be available. This is
Mhm.
shocking.
Right.
Well-
is there a stationery shop in the area, or even?
There
like
is,
a-
yes.
There's bound to be a post
Yeah,
office or
there-
something run by someone who smells of something odd.
There is a post office co-op stationery shop combo where they do have fairly basic stationery needs, but yeah, they got a couple of clipboards. How they've even got a packet of 4.
There we go. Have one each. Brilliant.
Well, I'll pop in, pick one up, and pull some kind of complicated ruse on the shopkeeper, where I try and convince him I'm bringing one back because the packaging was ripped, and can I replace it with another one?
Manipulation, subterfuge.
Oh,
You
good.
just pay for it.
Can't just
I don't.
outright buy it. No,
As a matter of principle.
it's not allowed. We've all got different integrities, and we just got to respect that.
What's the
I used to
difficulty?
work for a bank.
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't have integrity? Is that what you're saying? Sorry.
Only where money is concerned.
I used to work for a bank as well.
Can I re-roll the 10s?
Yes. Not that you really need
Oh,
to.
good grief!
Oh my
Because
days.
I'll be honest with you,
How
with
much
that
of the
many
shop do you
successes,
want?
he apologizes to you, gives you a full refund for a thing you didn't buy and a replacement for the thing you didn't buy in the first place. Good God.
Is he going to have a shop left by the time you finish with it?
And
All
he
right.
encourages you to take a free bottle of soft drink as well as his personal apology.
I'll come out with.
Oh.
I'll thank him very much, and I'll say it's absolutely fine. It's that these things happen. Come out, hand Tiana the flip chart and hand flip charts and hand Ray the bottle of Coke.
Oh, thank you.
Right. So we're going to go in pretending to be inspectors
Indeed.
or investors or
inspectors for the investors, perhaps.
The
That's
insurance
right.
company. Haha.
Yeah.
The underwriters.
All right. Do you want to do the talking?
Ooh. Yeah, I'll make a start.
Okay, cool.
Do we have a
I'm-
company that we're from?
They're likely to know who they work for, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the company.
Yeah.
I am going to prep. This
I should do a
is
spot of Googling just to see if there's any way of finding out who.
Oh, it's written on the sign outside.
Oh, okay. Cool. I won't need to Google it then.
Yeah, you don't really need to go. I mean, I know it's your go-to. Right, he got 10 successes. I'm getting 10 successes.
right. I'm going to prep a mind to effect. This is again fully technocratic. I'm going to use largely body language signals and keywords, and basically to make whoever we come across very open to the idea that we are, and the four of us are important authority figures that belong there and who they should take seriously.
Okay.
Oops. Done that wrong.
I feel more important already.
So you get your psychic paper out, mate.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm focusing.
Whee!
Lovely jubbly. Right.
Oh, it's not mine 3, it's mine 2. Never mind.
Auden, could you roll 2 dice for your wonder?
10s, presumably?
Yeah.
You say dice? All dice, all 10s. All right. Oh, good grief.
Oh.
Mate.
I think I might just stay in the car. Roll 20 does not like me this evening.
Oh,
It's-
how generous am I feeling? See, the thing is, I happen to have 1,000 points on Twitch right now. I'm going to give you a reroll.
Oh, I hope I make it worthwhile. Oh, dear Lord.
I've realised at the top of the character sheet there's a button that just says dice, and you can just put in a number of dice, and you'll get.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
That'd be handy. All right, I'm not looking.
Right, you can have a reroll. Hey, there
I'm
you
not looking.
go.
Can I look? Oh, I can look
You
now.
can, you
Hey.
can look now.
Yay!
Oh,
Oh,
that could have just taken everything apart. There are tangents I'm prepared to go down.
Uh-oh.
You flashing immigration signs at them is not what we want right now. So you flash your psychic paper at them, and they say, "Oh, you're the security consultant. Fantastic. Glad you could make it." And from the company as well. Excellent. Right, please take some PPE.
All right, come on, you lot.
Thank
My
you.
name's Greg. I'll help you with anything you need.
Hello, Greg.
And he looks at Sweet Pea and says, "I'm an intern too."
Nice to meet you, Greg.
Yeah. Greg, we're going to need 3 teas and 1 iced tea.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to leave you alone, but I guess you guys know everything about the site already, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like it's going to be a problem. Have you
I'm
signed in?
hovering behind Tiana like her PA, by the way.
Okay.
Thanks, Greg.
Have you signed in, Mom?
If you could let us have the paperwork to sign in, that'd be really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, he holds out a digital sign-in book.
I
Just
shall
wiggle your finger on it.
something that might look a bit like Hannah Jones, but it's kind of hard to tell.
I know the handwriting on these things is funny.
They never
at
come out
best.
right, do they?
No.
Well, you never sign your name with your finger, do you? It's weird.
Okay, now they're working on windows around the back today, so that's probably worth staying a bit clearer of, unless you need to check up on
If
how
we
they're
could
doing.
perhaps start the other end, that might be useful.
Yeah, floors are in, stairs are in, electricals aren't due to go in for another couple of days. The basement project has been dealt with by the subcontractors.
Has that been completed yet, or
I think they might have
are they
one
still
or two of
working on
them
it?
down there.
Oh, good. It'd be good to be able to chat to them as well.
Sure. oh, you best have one of the. Hang on a sec. And he runs into a little porter cabin nearby and comes back with a key attached to a kitchen spatula. Is it
Greg?
Innovative.
in the elevator? Turn it to the right.
All right. You lost a lot of these? Is that why the spoon?
You know how it is on a site. We lose stuff all the time.
All right. You just want to keep track of them things.
And then you've
Yeah.
always got something to stir your tea with as well.
Just making a
Perfect.
note on my clipboard there.
It's kind of a fluorescent pink spatula.
Oh, all right.
Amazing.
Oh, thank you, Greg. Hard hats, PPE.
Yep, they're all right here. Hold on a sec, ladies. Let me go and get you some from inside.
We might need the other stuff as well if you've got it available. Just to
Safety
be sure.
goggles, boots, the whole biz.
Okay, we'll have a look in the cupboard to see if there's anything that will fit you there, but I'll get you some hard hats from inside.
And the tea.
And he comes back a few minutes later with two slightly smaller but much cleaner hard hats than any of the ones that are in the cupboard. These look like they've maybe been worn once or twice at best, whereas
Rather
the
than
ones
kicked
in
around the site.
cupboard have probably been worn many times by many people.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
And there's some goggles inside, gloves if you need them.
Always useful. Thank you, Greg.
Just
I
in
don't
case.
think we have any steel toes in your sizes.
That's fine. I suspect steel toes that are too large would be more of a risk than none at all.
Yeah, often the way. All right, well, is there anything else you need from me?
Tea.
Do you have the official floor plan just so we know where not to step?
Yes, let me get that for you.
Thank you.
Do you prefer it paper or digital?
Either's fine. If there's a digital copy to hand, that's probably going to be easier, isn't it?
He comes out with a tablet computer and hands it to you. It's not password protected.
Oh, good.
It's just, I mean, the Wi-Fi here is terrible, but it's got all the floor plans on, and you can
Perfect.
zoom and check places as you like.
Save a tree on the way past, always good.
I'll put the tea on then, shall I,
Yeah.
sir?
And the iced tea.
And the iced tea for the lady.
I'll see if they have any in the shop. There's a co-op round here. I'll go and have a look.
Is there? Oh,
Yeah, you're a star.
Didn't know
Thank you,
that.
Greg.
useful.
Do come and find us when you're back, and we'll catch up.
Yes, ma'am.
I
So-
You've handed me a computer.
With
Um,
unrestricted access.
Oh, well, let's just put our feet up and investigate.
So yeah, it's a building site. Walls are up. They've been plastered but not painted. There's no doors or windows on the front of the house or the sides of the house. It's all just plain blank grey concrete on the inside. There is a lift shaft. The lift has been fitted, which is a bit odd because
Yes.
they
There's
did
no
say the
electrics?
electricals weren't being wired until tomorrow.
That did concern me slightly.
Yeah, also, the words basement project.
Mm-hmm.
I think step one.
Investigate basement project on tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's investigate.
Do I need to even roll for
digitally.
that, given that it's
No,
not
you
even
don't,
password
no.
protected?
It's not password protected. You can just poke at it. But the basement project is really bland. It would appear that there are 2 basements to the building. So all in all, it's a 5-story building. Just 2 of them are underground. The first basement is a garage and cinema room. And the
Nice.
second basement is just marked storeroom.
That's
Mhm.
suspicious.
Store for what?
That's a very large box room. A very long way down.
Very, very large box.
Yep, that's all there is on the floor plan as well. There's no panels, there's no furniture, there's no walls. It's just a big rectangle. And every other floor in here has got electrical outlets, doors, all the points where everything should be connected. It's got the Cat5 cabling. It's got Wi-Fi points. Everything is on every other floor except that sub-basement.
That's very suspicious. So, with our excellent history of going down into places and it all going perfectly well,
we start at the bottom, Ray.
I think we should, yeah. At least this time, there's a lift.
Which we can get stuck in.
Yay!
Are there stairs? Please tell me there are stairs.
Are there stairs on the plans?
There are stairs to the first basement, but not the second one that are showing on the plans.
So, lift it is.
Oh, yes.
Right, I've got the spoon.
Dig our way out if it all goes horribly wrong, right?
Not a spoon, it's a spatula. It's flat.
So we can't even dig our way out.
It's also plastic.
It's more useful as a shovel if it's flat. I've got a spatula. Apparently, I've been corrected by the voices in my head.
Pink spatula.
I shall stride
neon pink
confidently towards the location suggested by my tablet and head for the lift.
Right. You can hear in the floor below you that there does appear to be some kind of generator hooked up down there. So it might just be that they've got the generator so that they can work on the underground levels and have light.
With some lighting. I just love the idea that Tiana is walking towards the lift, but she is staring at the tablet. You're not looking at the outside world at all. You're just utterly tracking yourself.
That is entirely possible. I do partially exist in the digital world.
Like having your own personal mini map in one corner of your vision. I'm actually looking forward to when we can have those. I want that. It would make driving so much easier if we had a little mini map in the corner of the screen, which had everybody else's cars around you pinging up on it like you would have in an MMO.
You know, yeah, in a proper reality.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So you get in the lift.
Ray, spoon?
Hello. Yes, I've got the spoon. It's not a spoon.
Spatula. Beg its pardon.
So yes, there are.
How many buttons are there? Can I push them all?
There are 4 buttons and a keyhole.
Are some of them for floors that haven't been built yet? Because that would just be
no. All the floors have been built.
Oh,
and it's ground floor, first floor, second floor, and then there's 1 button for basement, and then a keyhole below that.
Right. So I can't great glass elevator this. All right. Fine. We'll go down. I will put in the key. He's got that look on his face. Someone want to investigate this before I do something foolish.
I'm sorry, that face is that's the look that's always on my face.
Give it a quick scan.
Just shifty looking. What are you going to look at it with?
It was the look of hungry anticipation.
Eyes is fine. Oh no, we're going with magic.
Yeah.
I have technical skills, but I want to look at it with magic.
Computer in a minute when she's finished poking it.
Nice.
Are you filtering all space there, Claire, and getting a sort of radar scope vision for the building? The floor plan is very accurate, except for that basement level.
Okay.
You do notice that there are some sort of pale wards that aren't correspondence wards. They won't block that kind of site, but there are wards up on the basement floor all around it. The building is very much, as it says on the plan, corresponds, pardon the pun, literally to the plan, except in the basement where there does appear to be a lot more going on than a big empty room.
Okay.
Shockingly.
Right?
That basement is not what it seems.
Well,
that's not surprising.
Probably not.
I'm going to have a quick scan round with my knowledge of computer equipment, because obviously there's a lot of Cat5 cabling and all sorts of other connected devices and things.
There's no devices connected.
See what's around, what might be down where we're going.
No idea. Literally the only evidence you've got is what your eyes gives you, which is it's a big empty room, and what Sweet Pea's told you, which is it's definitely not a big empty room.
Is there anything dodgy, you techno people, about this lift before I turn the key?
Well, that's kind of what I was looking for, but
Hold on a
there
moment.
doesn't seem to be.
You can make a perception technology check to check the door and the wiring if you want.
Are we looking in the Umbra? Have we tried?
Not yet.
All right, let's go with the obvious. I will pierce the
Can't
veil
find
between
technology.
worlds.
Oh, is it not called?
No, it's at the bottom. No, I'm
There you
being
go.
dim. There we go.
Okay. Phew. Hooray! I didn't make a mistake this week yet. Right. In the Umbra, what you can see is a load of pattern spiders crawling all over this place. It's a building site. They loved those. So there are plenty of pattern spiders crawling around on the outside of it. Little crystalline bodies scurrying around, attaching webs to things. They're particularly enjoying the cabling. That's one of their favorites. And looking down, there is a massive, well, not just a massive, but a series of wards and a single massive ward over the basement, the second basement.
Okay.
And wards all around this place, focusing and containing stuff to down there. Anything
They're
that
being
was in the
responsible
basement
about it this
would
time.
not be getting out.
I'd like to try like a wits and cosmology roll. I want to try and figure out, is the ward technocratic or traditional? Is it?
Make your roll. Meanwhile, Claire, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the lift door. It's completely safe. All the buttons. Ray definitely won't get tased by it.
What difficulty?
Excellent.
Your choice. If you want to just go technocratic or tradition, difficulty 6. If you want to expand it to include anything else, difficulty 8.
Well, I guess I'm going for, is it technocratic or non-technocratic?
Okay.
So difficulty
6s.
6s. Okay. What have I done? Oh, hang on, no. Got to re-roll that. Got to re-roll that. Bloody.
Wow.
Sorry, I keep accidentally putting in bonus dice where I'm supposed to be doing difficulty.
That's all right. What a mistake to make.
Shame.
Right, there we go. No successes. Balls.
It's a spirit ward. No way of telling. Could be anybody's. I mean, anybody could have learned how to write it in this way and just done it.
Okay. So,
I mean,
going blind then.
You would probably guess that it's probably not technocratic because they tend not to use things like wards, or they certainly wouldn't paint it or call it like that or do writing and things like that. Theirs would be containment fields and things like that.
So with that in mind, are the pattern spiders being kept out by the ward?
Yes, they are.
And do the Cat 5 cables go through the ward?
No, they don't. Cat 5 cables go from the above ground floors and into the cinema. They don't go into the garage or into the sub basement.
Right, Sweet Pig, can you tell me what cables, if any, from this level go down into the basement?
Okay, can I have a look at that?
Oh, you already kind of did with your correspondence scan.
Okay.
There are no cables going from this floor down into the sub basement. The only cables that you've got going down into the sub basement are going through a trapdoor in the floor of the garage from the generator, which is set up in the garage. And it's regular wires used to power lights.
Yeah. So much for my Trojan pattern spider idea.
No, the pattern spiders are being kept away from the sub basement. They won't go any lower than the ceiling in the cinema room and garage.
Just wondering if one could be persuaded to go down through a Cat 5 cable, but it looks like that there is no way. So.
It is a cunning plan.
Well, it's watered to heck.
All right. So,
Going down, I think.
Am I turning the key?
Go for it. It's safe. Well, technically, anyway.
For a given value of safe.
Ray, you're skilled in magic, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you want to make a copy of the key while we're here?
Mm.
Do you have some loose change?
Yes.
Alright. So I'm just going to sit down on the floor of the lift and focus, sing myself a little song.
Okay, this is kind of vulgar magic, but without witnesses, because you are literally turning coins into keys. It's not fish into like food for 5,000 people, but it's still a little bit beyond the bounds of reality. It's still doable, I hasten to add. Vulgar with witnesses is only going to cost you difficulty 6s, because it's only really matter 2 to reshape one form into something similar. It's got no moving parts. It's just a key.
So what
It's an
rolling?
arete roll, difficulty 6.
Okey-dokey. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I almost don't want to push the button. I'll take that though.
What'd you get?
We got. Is that not coming up?
Yes, sorry, I
Two
was on the
successes,
Twitch
so-
stream.
Okay.
2 successes. Yes, splendid. So yes, you've got a copy of the key made out of a 50p and
Couple of 20s.
a couple of 20s. Yeah.
No, I'm not doing the spoon though.
It's not a spoon.
I might reshape it into a spoon.
Give it back to them as a spoon.
Yeah.
Wasn't this a? Never mind.
I'll do that on the way up, if there is a way up.
There's a trapdoor.
There is. If there is a trapdoor, then do we want to go down the garage and maybe have a sneaky peek down through that, rather than commit ourselves to going all the way down in the lift?
I like your thinking. We should probably inspect the garage level as well, right?
Yeah, and I want to see the cinema.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you go down one floor.
Yeah, we push the button because lazy.
Yep. Go down one floor. Step out. There's not a lot to see in the garage, which is where. No, the lift wouldn't come out in the garage. It would come out between the two. So the lift opens up into a narrow concrete corridor. No flooring down yet. No paint on the walls. A couple of wires hanging out here and there. On the right-hand side, you've got a door leading into a massive, at least double, probably triple garage, depending on how
Nice.
big your motor was.
Ooh, no,
I mean, you could park 2 Humvees in it. It's a very spacious garage, but that's all there is to it. There's beams on the ceiling, concrete floor, concrete walls, nothing else to it. There's a generator sat in the middle of the room.
EV charging point?
What?
Electric vehicle charging point?
Yes. Wait, who am I kidding? No. No, definitely not.
as much gasoline as possible.
Yeah, no electric vehicle charging point in here. Defo not. Not this guy. But yes, there's a generator rattling away in the middle of the room. One of those big yellow lamp stands with the 2 square industrial lights hanging off of it. That's the only lighting in the room. And another cable running down a trapdoor. Probably only... I keep doing... I'm so used to face-to-face role-playing that I can't do... This big, little bit.
How many of your heads?
How many? Certainly bigger than my head.
Okay.
It's big enough for a normal-sized adult human male to fit down.
Oh, that's
Someone that
convenient,
was
isn't it?
especially
Oh, look,
fat
another
or
hole.
particularly muscular might find it a squeeze.
Well, that's not right. So.
And there is light coming from down there as well, because
Good.
that's where the cable goes. On the left-hand door, it's called a cinema room on the plans, but at the minute it's little more than sort of, just forgotten the name, amphitheater. There we go. Concrete amphitheater.
Friends, Romans, countrymen.
Lend me your ears. Because I left mine at home. Me and the jumper.
Careful what you wish for. You've still got a floor left to go.
Yes. All right.
So yes, you could get the lift down, or you can get the trapdoor down. Does anybody want to make a perception and alertness check while you were near the trapdoor?
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Yes.
Difficulty is 7 because the generator is annoying.
Oh. Do.
Perception and alertness, was it?
7, you say? Is it a visual or a sound based?
Sound.
Sand.
Whee!
I
2
can't.
successes.
Oh.
Looks like everybody did quite well on that one. So you could hear people muttering quietly down below.
Ooh,
Is it chattery muttering or is it chanty muttering?
Do any of you speak Turkish?
A little bit. Very little bit. Enough to say please and thank you.
Please and thank you. He's not going to cut it in terms of earwigging on this conversation. So you wouldn't recognize the language. It's Mediterranean-y, Middle Eastern-y kind of sounding thing.
Clearly Greek.
It could be. I mean, it's not going to be too much of a stretch for you to work out that it could well be Turkish, given that the site is owned by a Turkish man and is in a Turkish area. But that's the language you can hear from down below. And it sounds like conversational chatter rather than like sinister chanting.
I feel for the look of the thing, to try and keep our cover, we should probably not be sticking our heads through the trapdoor going, oh, well, that's where it goes. We should probably do it properly.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've got a key as well.
And we've got the key.
Whole plan.
Or plan B, let them get in the lift and then you drop down the hole and go, ha ha, surprise you bastards.
There is that. If you desperately want to drop down a hole again, then, go for it.
Or
You
we
can
can.
either-
Because that went so well last time.
I'm going to crouch down next to the trapdoor, fish a bit of chalk out of my pocket, draw a bunch of sort of spirals around the edge of a web, and sit very, very softly, sing to myself a story about how Anansi sang all the songs of the world and told all the stories of the world, and therefore understands all the languages. This is going to be a mind 2 surface thoughts.
Basically a Babylon protocol.
Yeah, gonna
Babel protocol, not Babylon. Silly man.
read surface thoughts. So I'm gonna understand the language they're speaking by reading their surface thoughts, but in the form of a story about how Anansi understands all languages. Does this count as coincidental?
Probably yes, because they don't all. Nobody knows that you don't speak Turkish except you.
And yet,
No, it must be that ward interfering with your effect, bouncing
never mind.
ideas off. All right, so what's the plan then?
We could turn the lights off.
Then we'd be going down there in the dark. Or
I
the
can
lift
see-
wouldn't work.
I can see in the dark.
I can't.
I was foolishly suggesting I might go down on my own, or at least as a recce. But that might be a bit disruptive. We could just go down the lift.
I'm
Did you bring
liking that
your
plan.
shotgun with you, Ray?
Yes, because it's my comfort shotgun now.
How about your extra special crowbar?
That's probably in the bag. Someone wants to borrow it. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere without me shooter at this point in time. That went so badly last time.
Okie dokie then.
Well,
in the lift.
I'm going down in the lift.
All right.
Anyone coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
All right.
Spoon.
It's a spatula.
So you pile into the lift and you use the spatula to turn the key to go down. You don't need to use that. You've got Ray's key now.
Oh, still using the spatula.
Still
Doing
using the
probably.
spatula. So you use the spatula and you go down one more floor. And the lift doors open,
Ding.
and not into a big empty room like you would expect, but into a small wood-panelled antechamber.
That's nice.
it's not particularly luxurious. It's just there to sort of prevent people from seeing any further into the room. But there's a small wood-paneled antechamber in there, and sort of one side of it is boarded up, and the other side has like a cheap and cheerful MDF door on it.
Well, that's unexpected. Can we hear voices?
Yes, when the lift dings, you hear voices and then footsteps. Tap, tap,
They would have noticed.
coming this way.
What time of day is it, roughly? Morning, afternoon?
Late
Evening.
afternoon, sort of 4 o'clock-ish. Someone on the other side of the door says something in a language that none of you speak.
I should attempt to brazen it out. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Can we come in? We're in the inspectors.
One moment, says a
I believe you were told we were coming.
heavy voice from the other side, and you hear the sound of someone frantically putting on a jacket and rustling some papers around.
Well, what were they doing?
I don't think I want to know.
The door opens fractionally. I mean, quite a lot fractionally, because the guy who's coming out is someone who clearly spends a lot of his time picking up heavy things and putting them back down again. He's got that sort of huge upper body strength of someone that does a lot of very heavy lifting and does it to make themselves look swole.
He hedge.
His head
Nothing but
is
gains for days.
it's kind of tiny in comparison to the rest of his body.
Does he have any perceivable neck?
None to speak of, no. He has got an awful moustache, though. He's got like a big, thick, bushy black moustache and a crew cut on the top of his head. We have papers. Papers you do not need to see in this room.
Oh, I think we'll be the judge
well,
of that, matey.
The company has sent us to double check everything over, so
this is
we do
not,
need to come in.
This is not for company. This is subcontract.
We need to check that too.
It cannot be, I'm afraid. You see, and he's thrusting these papers in your face. We have papers.
Ray, do you have your paperwork that will suggest to them that we are supposed to be here?
We got papers
because
too, mate.
I've got a timing issue right now. We do need to get this sorted quickly, if you don't mind.
I'm terribly sorry, miss. I'll get this sorted. Right, you. I see your papers with my paper, right?
Go on then.
Battle of the paper.
Well, it's better than a crowbar and a dead dog.
Yeah, if that's
Hopefully.
as good as it gets. How many am I rolling? Is it
two
two
dice?
or two?
Yeah, because it's your papers dice, not yours.
Okay. Sevens or
Yes, in this instance. Usually it's much lower than that. Well, not much, but some.
something.
I'm giving it a nudge with mine too. I want to sort of again make Claire seem authoritative, make this guy feel like he should probably just cooperate to get us out of the way.
Don't worry, you're using up all your bad rolls now. You'll need them in a minute.
Yay.
He's still. How do you have this pass? This is diplomatic permit.
We are asking the questions, not you, Sonny.
But you do not look like you are from Turkish consulate.
Special.
Why on earth would we look as if we are? This is important business. We shouldn't look as if we're from the consulate. It arouse suspicion.
His eyes are furrowing in some confusion.
Do you want a visit from the rest of the ministry? Do you want them to go to your family back home? Do you? Or do you want to help us out here?
I have no family at home. What is it you want?
All we need to do is take a quick look, make sure everything's proceeding according to the plans we've been given, and then we'll be out of your hair. We'll be 5 minutes at most.
It is too soon. You can come back Monday.
No.
Well,
Now.
we're here now.
Monday
We
is
just
better.
all we want to do is check on the progress. There's no criticism of you at all. We just need to make sure it's going the right way, and then obviously we can talk to the gentleman higher up if we need to. But I'm sure that won't be necessary.
Right. He shouts something back into the room, and then steps aside to let you pass. He's a little bit close. Too
Thank
close
you for your
for comfort,
understanding.
and smells very strongly of aftershave.
It could be worse, I guess.
It's a hint of something under it
Oh,
that makes it worse.
one of those.
Lovely.
Okay, you be fast. You be quick.
Will be 2 minutes. All we need to do is look. Thank you.
Okay, come.
Shall follow him in.
Who's
Walk
going
smartly.
last? Who's going last?
I'm at the back.
Okay, can you make a perception and alertness check?
Difficulty.
Difficulty 6 is. He's put his hand inside his jacket as he goes to follow you in.
I will put my hand inside my jacket.
Ooh.
Oh.
He pulls out a little bottle of brandy. Hey!
Hey!
Drinks for everybody.
This
Can
is
I take
Highlander.
a peek
He's got
into the spirit world
Pimm's.
this
I've
time?
got lemonade. What's it gone?
Anyone got strawberries?
I've got cucumber.
Go ahead, Claire.
Where's it gone? Come back. Difficulty 4?
Yep. Actually, no,
remember this
difficulty 3. But that's okay. We can check and see if you got. You did get 3, so it's actually 3
Hey.
successes. Now I'd like you to make a stamina and survival roll.
Oh. Well, I spent my points in the right places. Just wasn't enough. I'm
Difficulty
going to need more
7
than
at the moment.
kittens, aren't I?
Oh God, yes.
Stamina and survival.
Yeah.
You can.
I'm going to need carrying out of here.
I have faith.
One way or another.
Maybe I won't need carrying out.
You are able to steel yourself against the relentless psychic barrage that this room presents on the far side of the veil. It is, without any shadow of a doubt, the most hideous place you have ever found yourself in. In the Umbra, it's organic. Everything in here is alive and quivering, pulsating, palpating. All sounds that, I mean, try to picture a lump of raw meat just wobbling slightly, and you've got what most of the inside of this room looks like.
You're right, Tiana. You've got a funny colour.
Yeah, no, absolutely fine.
All right. Do I? No, I don't want that.
We're talking fetid membrane.
Oh.
Yep, that is worse. You managed to go worse.
I felt like it was a challenge I had to rise to or sink to. This room is truly disgusting. It's utterly hideous in the Umbra. The whole place has got like this thick black tarry goop stuck everywhere over this very organic looking interior. The whole wall is sort of moving and pulsing ever so slightly. It's thick with veins pumping sickly dark fluids around the room, all sort of culminating at one end. And that's what you can see in the Umbra. In the really real world, what you can see as you go into the room is that this is a torture chamber, pure and simple. There's no way it could be described as anything else. There are shackles hanging from the ceilings, on the walls. There are wheels. There are tools for breaking people that you don't even want to think about how they might work. Some of the stuff in here looks medieval. Some of it just evil.
Okay.
Right.
Looks like this matches the plans. Maybe we should go now.
I really like what you've done with the place.
What you also notice is the other gentleman in the room taking aim at you with his pistol.
I was going to say, I'm just drawing the
Oh
shotgun.
yeah, how close am I to the guy behind us?
See the guy behind you, very close.
And I have my hand on my pistol,
Yes.
so I'm not even going to draw it. I am
Going to shoot him through your coat.
Yeah.
going to shoot him through the back of my coat.
I think it's just, it's go time.
This is point blank, isn't it? So
Yes, but before we do that, can everybody make a wits alertness check
Oh dear.
to determine our initiative order? Yes, that's right, viewers. We've waited a few sessions, but here it is. A fight.
What are we doing now? What's going on?
Difficulty 4,
Rolling
isn't it?
wits alertness,
Wits
difficulty
alertness.
4 to get your initiative.
4.
So
I've got 4.
Of many.
Do ones cancel for initiative?
yes,
Do 10s go double?
not an initiative. no.
That'd be
Oh,
2
and that
then.
depends on what your wits and alertness specialities are.
I've got improvisation, which I doubt applies at the
I
moment.
don't
Not
know.
really. How many successes did Dave got? 4 successes. Claire got 4 successes. Claire got. How many did you get?
2. Because there was a
2.
1, damn it.
And Ray got 5 successes. No,
Ooh.
4 successes. So you guys are all fairly keyed up and alert and aware. It's no great surprise that Tiana's a little bit distracted because, yeah,
She's
Is this all going to go a bit Reservoir Dogs? Just like bang, bang, bang.
quite possibly.
Everyone else going to shoot them or to throw up on their shoes.
Right.
Oh,
let
good
me-
tactic. Distraction. Excellent.
Mm. Mm. As luck would have it, then, you guys don't get surprised, and you do get the drop on them. So, Dave,
I am shooting at point blank range this guy through the center mass. I believe this is a difficulty 4 roll because of the range.
yep, decks and
I-
firearms. Well, we'll call it difficulty 5 because you're kind of shooting blind.
Yeah, fair enough. I am spending a point of willpower for an extra success.
Okay,
So that's 5 successes.
nice. That will hit because he's
Um,
not expecting it, so he's not going to try and dodge out of the way.
yeah,
of it.
what's the damage for a 9 mil? Was it 4 dice? 5 dice?
Mm. Revolver, pistol light, 9mm, damage is 4.
4. Is he dodging at all, or?
He doesn't even know it's coming.
Excellent. So I add excess dice, don't I? So it's a total of 8 dice.
Yes.
Difficulty is 8 for damages, 6s.
I think it's only 6s for damages.
Okay.
It's dependent on range for,
Or is it 8
High
to
difficulty.
soak? Or something like that.
yeah, if you're a mortal.
Ones, damn it. I got
No.
3 successes. It should have been 5. Never mind.
And you shoot him, and your bullet kind of thunks into the fleshy center of his body.
Oh, good. Fleshy center. We can add that to the next skill.
Nice.
I should write chocolate boxes, shouldn't I, really?
No chocolates should have fleshy centres. That's what's wrong.
No chocolate should have any type of membrane.
You have to bite through the fleshy membrane before you get to the centre.
The fleshy center. Yes, so you hear a grunt from behind you, and the rest of you will hear a loud bang. And then, Ray,
Right.
what are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot somebody.
We're going to be shooting through the bag then.
Yes,
because-
yes. I'm just going to
Ah!
hand in the bag.
Right, that's
What?
Dex and Firearms, difficulty 6.
Proper old-fashioned, this is East End time.
It is.
Difficulty 6, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Who needs a silencer when you've got a bag?
Oh, be kind to me, roll 20. Doing. Well, could be worse. Could be better. So many dice, so few successes.
What do we need? We need bit of that, maybe.
Does that work? Is that good?
4 successes. Yes,
4
that is good.
successes.
And you're using an shotgun, aren't you?
Yes.
So shotgun, 12 gauge pump. That's 8 dice of damage, plus the extra 3 from your hitting of him. That's a lot of damage dice. That's 11 d10.
With a difficulty of
6.
6s again.
Yeah, again, there's a damage button on your character sheet. You just got to put in the number of dice and it rolls for you.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Roll up.
So you shoot him point blank with a shotgun, and just utterly destroy his shirt. His shirt is shredded off the front of his body.
But it's armor hair. Just
His body is completely unharmed by the blast.
Oh.
Suspiciously so. I mean, you've seen people get a shotgun blast before, and it doesn't damage your shirt and leave your skin unharmed unless there's something seriously woobly going on.
I don't think these people are normal.
Potter.
Can I try and crouch down and scan his gun to stop him from being able to shoot, like to jam it in some way, using entropy?
Yes, you can. Make an Arete roll. That's what, entropy 2. Because there's a good chance that a gun might not fire. And whose gun were you doing it on?
The guy that's behind us.
Okay.
He had a gun, yeah.
Yep. So you.
Have they both got guns?
Yes. Well, the guy inside was already pointing his at you. The guy behind was going for one. You didn't notice that, but it's a safe bet that if the guy in front of you is pointing a gun at you, that maybe the guy behind is up to you.
I'll go for the guy in front then, because I can see him.
Okay. He is jammed. And then there go. So the guy in front of you snaps off a shot at Ray, because he's clearly the biggest threat.
Hello.
They are using...
I ruined your shirt.
Oops.
So that's... Oh, for crying out loud.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. He shoots a hole through your jacket.
I
under your
like this
armpit.
jacket.
Like blam. An inch either way, and that would have hurt you. He probably wasn't expected to be shotgunned in the chest.
I was expecting him
That
not
might
to
be why he didn't hit
standing
you.
up.
Meanwhile, the chap behind him shoves you, Dave.
Yay! Good to get a nice shove.
That's not the right dice to roll me. says it's rolling the dice. We have yet to see any evidence of that. So maybe he hits you and maybe he does. Oh, there we go. Right, so he is going to hit you and try and push you into Sweet Pea, who's in front of you. Right. So I suppose it's just a shove, so it's going to be fairly low on the old damage rating. He does 2 points of bashing damage, which you can soak with your stamina.
Okay.
Or not.
And yes, I do not.
So less of a shove, more of a donkey punch to the back of the head. Ugh. And forward you go. 2 points bashing damage for you, sir.
Yes, I am hurt.
And then
Deeply.
Tiana.
I don't do melee,
No.
or firearms, or martial arts. I can't computer at them unless I smack him in the face with the tablet. That's not a bad idea.
Is there anything
May
you can
come
do
to
to
that.
support one of the others, to power them up, give them a better chance?
Like
Or
their
what
mind
other
or
powers
something.
do you have?
The guy in
Hmm,
front of
fashion
me,
sense.
who appears to be the most obvious. How does he look in the spirit world?
Oh, of
Given
course
I
you're
probably saw
viewing
him on
them
the way
in the
past.
spirit world. So the guy in front of you in the spirit world is part man, part spirit. He is not entirely human. He is human plus. And the spirit with him and within him appears to function as a kind of exoskeleton. You can see that he's got like a thick black chitinous layer over him and a big hunched back. He's got claws as well. So it looks like the gun is probably the least of your worries.
Yeah, not happy.
There's practically
Yeah.
a ghost in the spirit world.
Can I? I'm not sure how to do this because I've not tried it before. Can I somehow punch a hole where the bullet should have gone through whatever it was that was stopping it?
Ah, interesting. So you want to like create a chink?
Yeah.
That's the
Basically.
Smaug effect.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Make a Spirit 3 attack. So Erate. If you just go brute force, that's vulgar. They don't count as witnesses because they're not humans. So it's difficulty 7 Spirit attack with Erate.
I'm not actually trying to damage. I just want to let someone else do it. Difficulty 7?
Difficulty 7.
No!
No.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Headache!
You thrust your hand out towards him, hoping to force the shotgun damage through the armor, but instead, some of the goop from him slashes out and sticks to your hand like thick, oily goo, trying to pull you
Ew,
closer.
ew, ew, ew.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, somebody's just given you a re-roll on Twitch.
Hey,
Yay!
It's a
thank you, Twitch.
Thank you very much.
open re-roll for anyone who majorly screws up in this combat. Ben is welcome
I-
to claim it for one of the Turks if he's feeling evil. So if you want, Claire, you can claim that re-roll now.
Oh, please do, otherwise Ben will.
Yeah,
There- I'm going to.
do it.
Okay, group decision. I shall see if I can make this less worse.
Right.
Yes, I can. There we go.
Hey,
Woohoo.
Thank you, Twitch.
Thank you, Twitch.
So you fling your hand out towards him initially, and you get this sort of weird what if kind of thing go over you, and then there's like a crunch on his armor, as the shotgun seems to take a delayed action blast, and it sort of staggers him backwards a few steps and hurts him quite a lot. It's revealed a bare patch of human skin underneath. So well done. And that takes us back up to Dave.
Right,
Just been donkey punched.
am I directly in combat with this guy, or is one of
He's
the
just
others
punched
engaged
you
with?
in the back of the head into Sweet Pea.
Right. Right. And I'm at -1 dice, which is a ball ache. I'm just going to. So all sorts of clever solutions, all of which are like 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah.
Is no use. I'm going to spend another point of willpower and just shoot this guy.
You're still kind of point blank range.
Yeah. I can sort of turn and like.
Yep.
Yeah, so. Sadly, losing 1 dice. Presume it does that automatically. No, it is delayed, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes it does get a little bit glitchy. I think it's when it's experiencing high traffic demand.
Come on.
So he shoves you forward and you bump against Sweet Pea. She's crouching down as you do that, so she doesn't get knocked over, which stabilizes you and enables you to turn. Your hand already in your coat, and you can draw and shoot back at him.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not sure what's happening with this attack because I've pressed go.
And is it still not going through?
Nothing
Oh,
as
weird.
yet.
Come on, Dice, I believe in you. You can do the thing.
Shall I try again?
Yeah, give it a go.
Oh, that worked.
There we go. Either that or that's the first one coming through, and then another one will come through in a minute. But yes, you return fire. Kablamo.
Right.
That's 4 plus 1 dice of damage.
Another 3.
Again, your bullet hits him center mass, but doesn't appear to do anywhere near the kind of damage you would expect. You've shot this guy twice in the torso, and he still keeps on coming.
Yay.
There's something not quite right about that.
Not normal.
Raymondo.
Go for the other one.
Not even for around here. Right. Well. So I shot the one in front of him, and then nothing happened for a little while.
Nothing
and then he
happened for a
flew
little while,
backwards, like
and
a
then he went
delayed
flying backwards. Yeah.
Special effect. So obviously I have a magic shotgun, so I'm going to do that again.
Either that or he's powered by the true power of Turkish cinema.
Go for his chest, Ray. Go for his chest. There's a hole there now.
Right. Okay. I'm going to do what she said because why not?
Okay, second barrel before you'll have to reload.
Yes, I'm aware.
Ooh.
I'm
Clank,
keeping
click.
count. Oh dear. Here we go. Righty-ho. Roll them bones.
Oh,
Nice.
you
Wow.
really got 10
Oh,
dice.
sweet.
In firearms. You beast.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
why it was so dumb for Ray not to take a gun.
Okay. Please roll 16 dice of damage.
Ooh.
Oh, dear.
You're going to go through the wall.
Good lord.
Be nice, wouldn't it? What are we going for? SD, what, 6s, 7s? I've forgotten again. Difficulty?
6s.
6s.
Oh god, I just botched his soak roll as well.
Well,
Oops.
joy.
We're going to get covered in bits of manky spirit now, aren't we?
No, he's shooting away from you.
Yeah. A
One,
kaboom.
2. Oh, it's a. Yep, that's a further 9 successes of damage. You blast a hole right through him at this kind of range with a
Tiana.
shotgun and no armor to protect him. You literally blow a hole right through the guy. Kablamo. And he sort of blinks a few times, looks down at the hole where his chest used to be, falls to his knees, and then keels over forwards. Potter! That was effective.
Yeah, what can I do?
Teamwork
Yay!
makes the dream work.
This is more nightmare.
Can I use correspondence 3 to tear a hole in space, go through behind him and push him over, the guy behind us? So I'm crouched down.
Is that with correspondence?
Wow.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
correspondence 3 lets you
Yeah,
teleport.
It
correspondence
does
3.
do short teleport, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you
And I
want
can see where I'm going.
you're going to step behind him and punch him.
Try and
you say.
launch myself at him full bodily, I think, to try and knock him over because he's a lot bigger than me.
You open open a hole in the floor, fall through it, and then orient the hole. So you've got a hole there for you to fall through, and then a hole there for you to come out.
You need a
Oh,
blue
yeah.
hole and an orange hole.
Yeah, we're going to portal this. Well, you need 2 so you can build a momentum.
Right, make an
And then you
arete
aim
roll
yourself.
first.
Yeah.
At difficulty 7
1 success.
to punch a hole in space time. Okay, so you punched a small hole in space time, and now make a Dex and Brawl roll, or Dex and martial arts.
And athletics.
I will accept athletics at a difficulty of 7 for this because you are just launching yourself.
2, 3 whole dice. Whoa! 1 success.
It's like being cuddle attacked by an Ewok. Sweet Pea bursts out of a hole in space-time behind this guy. Links on around his head. I was going to say neck, but we've already described him as not having one. So it lynches on around his head. He's like, riding him piggyback.
Oh my god.
What is going on?
Shout, you all got to shoot him now. You all got to shoot him now.
Could you just hold it, everyone? I've got to reload. So you
Oh
could,
my god, these guys are rolling so badly.
oh, well, I
He
imagine
reaches
he's
back
a
to
bit
try and
distracted.
grab you.
Yeah.
And in my head, I envisioned this huge meat mountain just kind of going whew, and throwing you clean across the room. But for some reason, he can't get his arms up.
He's got too much biceps. He's
Too
got
much
no
biceps.
forearms.
He can't grab you. You're too small for him to be able to grab.
Him to hedge.
It's Andre the Giant versus the Man in Black. I think I know what the problem is. I'm used to fighting groups, crowds. So you hang on in there for dear life, and he fails to fling you across the room.
It's working. Keep
Eddie,
hold.
Keep up. I'll try.
choke him out.
I didn't
hasn't
train for the
gone
rodeo.
Eddie.
Whatever you
Let's
did in the last one, do
I'm
it
going to see
again.
if I can make another hole in this one.
Yeah, please.
To concentrate really, really hard. Whichever bit's
Does that
most
mean you're
accessible.
spending a willpower point?
Possibly.
Visualise.
That gets you an automatic
Visualise.
success. That's why Dave is quite so free with them.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm starting to run low.
What's your nature?
Dynamic. Apparently.
What's my difficulty 6?
I don't know why it's dynamic.
That should be essence.
My essence is questing.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
apparently just a dynamic person. That doesn't sound like what I chose. But
No. Right.
If
So
I spent a willpower point, that's going to be 2.
you rake at his spirit in the spirit world. The spirit entity on him is manifesting slightly differently in the spirit world. This one's all spikes and sharp bits. He's like a dragon, demon, dinosaur, hedgehog.
Cool. Also,
Wow. Awesome.
one of them
Membrane.
fellas.
no.
Oh, fleshy dinosaur membrane.
Ooh.
No, nice.
You want a carpet made out of that.
Squidge, 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 squidge.
And you managed to sort of scrape some of the goo off of him, but it's nowhere near as effective as it was last time.
I
So
wasted a
yes,
willpower point.
you sort of
Damn it.
smacked a bit of the spirit away, but because you're trying to do it without making physical contact, it's that much harder. Kind of flapping at spirits like that.
Well, how distracted is he by Sweet Pea clinging to his head? Because I'm quite
Well,
happy to go and punch him in the back as well.
He's distracted.
Not that he'll
by,
notice.
Well, you're in front of him, so he's got Sweet Pea on his back. He's got
Mm.
you flailing at his front. He's got JM Junior shooting at him, which takes us back up to Dave.
Right.
Shooting
Is
does
Ord-
not appear
is-
to be having the
Is
desired
Auden
effect.
reloading his shotgun?
Ray will be, yes.
Ray, sorry. I don't know if I have to do a delayed action or something, but can I awaken one of your shotgun shells and charge it with a point of quintessence so as to give it aggravated damage against spirits or spirit beings?
Yowza! Yeah, you can do that while he's loading, because then you'll be able to see it and give it your own little blessing. And
Yeah, I'll sing a song to the bullet, reminding it that it lives to kill and destroy the enemies of man.
right, okay, you make your rarity roll.
So this is it's level 3, I think.
Yeah.
And
So it's probably a difficulty 7,
I was going to say,
because you're going to be turning this into basically a dragon's breath round, kind of, aren't you?
well, it doesn't necessarily have to visibly be very different, but I think
I suppose
aggravated
that's true,
damage
yeah.
always counts as
Yeah, always vulgar,
what's it?
because it's pattern damage.
Yeah. Oh, let's put a point of willpower on that.
Yes, you can.
Thank you. That was my last quintessence.
Smoobly Moob says, I ain't got enough rerolls for her to be playing with portals. Right, so yes, you've got a point of quintessence and a point of willpower invested in it. So you've got one shotgun shell, which is very eager to get in there and do its damage. So you do that. Ray reloads the shotgun. And Potter, you're clinging on for dear life. What are you going to do?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't
Just
thought past
hold
that.
on.
Keep holding on.
Yeah, don't let go.
Try and cover
I'm
his
just-
eyes. See if you can cover his eyes.
Can I try and pull his hair and grab at his
He
eyes?
hasn't really got hair to speak
He's got a
of.
moustache.
He's
got a
got a
moustache.
moustache. You can pull his moustache.
I pull at his moustache.
You pull at
That's
his
bad.
moustache.
I don't believe I even suggested that. That's
Can you
just
make a
awful.
dex and brawl roll? Difficulty is only 5 because you're already on him.
Okay.
Roll for moustache pulling.
2 successes. Get in.
So you grab hold of his moustache and you pull. I'm not going to apply any injuries to him, but I am going to apply an injury penalty to him
Woohoo.
because it hurts and is distracting, one would imagine. Having some teenage girl hanging off your moustache. Make of that comment what you will.
I'm not going to bite him
Oh.
because he smells funny.
Yeah, fair point. So he is going to try and grab you and fling you off again because, ow, seriously. This time he is much luckier because he can grab your wrists.
Oh.
He doesn't have to reach all the way up and over. So he grabs your wrists and tries to fling you, or does fling you, rather successfully, to be honest, clear across the room. Bum, 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 bum. Could you please take... I have to roll more dice than that.
It's not a good sign.
Oh, don't worry. He's rolling really, really badly. Why is it that it rolls really badly? Yes, please. You can use your stamina to soak this damage if you want. You take 2 bashing damage from being thrown across the room. But if you can soak them with stamina, you kind of land rather than crash.
Okay, so am I rolling stamina?
Yes. Okay, so you only take 1 point of bashing damage from being thrown across the room.
Okay.
At this point, he also kind of unfolds. It's like there was a lot more of him in the space than there was visible. And the spirit manifests in the physical world through him. So his wrists just sort of open up and big bony spurs spring out into his hands like swords.
Not happy.
His shoulders spike up around either side of his head. His knees rip through his trousers. His elbows spike out in great big horns. And a thick bony ridge grows up across the front of his face from his nose.
Oh, he's a unicorn.
He is He's not a unicorn. No, it's not a horn. It's a bony ridge. He mutates, obviously and disgustingly, in front of you with no paradox effect whatsoever.
Oh, that's not nice.
Gleddy, your go.
I'm assuming I've seen this happen in the spirit world as well.
Yeah, you see in the spirit world that the spirit starts to look more like the man.
Huh.
So he becomes more human looking in the spirit world.
So he's switching.
Not switching, uniting. He looks the same across both now.
Slap him again.
Where's Sweet Pea at the moment? She's not on him
She's
anymore, is
been
she?
flung clear across the room and has crashed into some wooden furniture over on the far side. Well, I say furniture. It's certainly some kind of wooden frame.
A wooden device that has been...
Yes,
But they're
device. That's a word.
I'm behind him at the moment, I think. Is that right?
No, you're in front of this guy.
Yeah.
You were in the middle of the room, so you were kind of in front of both of them.
Hello, Duggett. I'm going to smack him on the nose with the tablet.
No.
His newly armored
Mutant. Bad.
mutated nose.
Can I
mutant.
perhaps...
Look at what you did!
I'm going to add kind of some spirit oomph behind it as well.
Okay.
Not quite sure how to do that, but I'm
I would just roll it as a spirit attack and
Spirit slap again. We've seen this before.
use the computer spirit to do the damage, I guess. So roll your Erite and that'll be how it manifests. So it's still a spirit strike, but you're using the sort of spirits of the internet to twonk him.
Difficulty 6?
Yes. No, 7. It doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant.
Spirit thwop. So yes, you hit him in the nose, but
Break the tablet. Oh.
yes, you do break the tablet on his face. Which brings us back around to Dave again.
Well, he's going to be distracted at least.
Did Ray shoot his gun, or
He hasn't done yet. No,
I'm reloading.
oh,
He's
you
you are reloaded.
Right,
Do you want to
yes.
go first this round then, and then see what happens?
You
You want to withhold because you kind of both go at the same time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
actually, I suppose Ray should have been going quicker because his dex is outrageous.
That's fair enough. I'm going to use mind to kind of steady Ray's mind and focus his concentration on his aim.
Okay.
So again, still singing. This time I'm singing about Ray, the mighty warrior who conquers his enemies with the great weapon that I've given him.
Oh my God, you're a bard.
I'm telling a story. Drawing on the spirits to tell a story about a warrior who arms himself and destroys his foe.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You're very welcome. I don't know what mechanical effect it will have exactly. None. It will have no effect.
It will have no effect whatsoever.
It's a nice
as
song.
it turns
It was a nice tune.
I enjoyed the song a lot.
Everybody loves a bard.
Rubbish.
Go on then, Ray. Slam away.
I'm going to shoot him with
Because you really don't want this guy to get stabby in the next action.
No, I'm really not liking those knives. That's not making me a happy boy. Ah, dear. I'm even going to spend a point of willpower just to make absolutely sure. Boink. Doing.
Right, you hit him.
1, 2, 3, 4. So yes.
Have you got dex and firearms specialities?
No, because I don't know what those are.
Oh, okay.
How has he gone for the hole that I made? We're all good.
Yes, and I'll be trying to go for the hole that same kind
All
of
right,
dice.
so roll 10 dice for damage. A speciality would let you either ignore a 1 or re-roll a 10 if you've got a stat of more than 4. So if you had a firearm speciality of, say, shotguns.
But only on those. Yes,
Or a
that
dex
makes sense.
speciality of steady hand.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, there's something. We all learn something. Da, 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 da.
Oh, no.
Oh, you are.
That's awful.
That is awful. Oh, even with the magic bullet.
Ouch.
The thing about it being a magic bullet is, oh no, one of those ones has been taken away. One of the ones is taken away from a success. That's actually more like 3 successes. I don't know why it's. Did you do that at difficulty 7?
Yeah, I was meant to be 6.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
so you got 3 successes because ones don't cancel on damage.
Okay.
So that's 3 points of aggravated damage, which is a lot more like it. And he is looking decidedly worse for wear now.
Still,
possibly more unfortunately, it is his go. So in my screen, I've got Ray, Jonathan, Sweet Pea, and Tiana. So that's the order that will go in. Uh-oh. Looks like Tiana is getting instabulated.
I have just smacked him in the face with the tablet.
You have, so you are right there. Oh, and now he doesn't roll badly. Typical.
Oh dear.
Oh, mind you, you haven't been yet. You could sacrifice your action for a dodge.
That sounds good.
Roll dex and dodge. Oh no, it's just dex now, isn't it? Dex isn't a stat anymore.
Where is it?
Have you got any dots in athletics?
No.
Okay. Right, so that's 2 successes to take away from his, which is a good thing. Trust. Because that means that he's only doing 2 points of aggravated damage to you as he sinks one of these bone blade spine things right through your shoulder.
You shall scream at him. Quite
There's been a lot
literally.
of shoulder stabbing in this game, hasn't there? Time to start stabbing people in places other than the shoulder, Crossley.
So
But yes, he stabs you for 2 points of aggravated damage,
Ow.
which you can't soak because you're a squishy mage. Not a proper hard nut like a vampire or werewolf.
I'm assuming we haven't regained any health
No.
since last time.
And then
that's
you've
not
used
good.
your action to dodge, so that takes us back up to Ray.
Hello.
He's still got a shell.
I'm going to shoot him again. I keep shooting him till he stops moving.
Ow. Ow.
I'm really sorry.
Ow.
I'm really sorry.
Am I still dangling off this claw, or did he put it in and
Yeah,
take it
you
out?
kind of is stuck it in and you're kind of dangling off of it.
Don't
That
miss!
gives him the option to flick you across the room.
No.
Oh, that's just unpleasant.
Or stab you with the other hand. And then flick you both ways.
Okay.
I don't want that to happen.
Let's just shoot him.
Right, you hit him. Roll 10 dice of damage.
God for that. Difficulty 6 for this,
Yep.
so I don't get it wrong this time. Ah,
5 points of damage. He goes down. He's not dead, but he is very decidedly.
oh.
Ow!
Jonathan, do you want to help me shoot this thing a few more times?
He's not moving. He's. You can hear his breaths, laboured breaths, sort of wheezing in and out of him.
Well, I ain't got any juice left for your bullets.
Well, we could just shoot him a lot.
Yeah.
Blam, 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 blam. A
Stand
single
up, stand
shotgun
over
blast
him.
to the face would do the job at this stage.
All right. I'll do it. Well, actually, I'll go. Tiana, do you want to do this? Because he stabbed you.
Yes, I do, but I'm kind of stuck right now.
We still
Also,
went
you
back.
don't know how to fire a shotgun.
It's very.
I'd probably
I'll
smack him in
do
the face with it.
I'll do it. It's all right.
So you put him out of your misery.
That was unpleasant.
Yes, it was. And after the shots ringing out in this tiny, cramped space finish reverberating around the room, and the sort of tinny, coppery, blood-like tang to the air kind of hits your nostrils and your taste buds. It's also got a slight oily undertone to it. Like there's something not quite right about it. What do you want to do?
Can someone please get this weird Turkish were-dragon out of me?
Oh no, it's
please?
out now. Well, as he fell over from being shot, it would have
Yeah.
come out.
Okay.
Little bit of a from your shoulder.
Ow.
Well.
What are we going to do?
Right, so both dudes are dead.
Yes.
Is there a unexploded bomb here with a thing in it?
There is no unexploded bomb here.
Is
There
there-
is, however, one of the polyhedrons.
Oh, hang on. I've got a thing
It's-
for this.
It's set up in the back end of the room. Tiana, it's the end of the room where all of the nastiness was concentrated.
Right, Tiana, don't tell me what you can see.
It's got a
No,
similar
you do not
altar
wanna know.
setup to the one that you saw in the back of the off license. Only this altar is a lot more finely made. It's got much more expensive equivalents of all of the stuff that was on there.
High class evil. That's nice.
High class evil, yeah. There's some kind of leather with writing on it as well.
Leather.
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 Coats leather.
Leather book.
It's a very
leather
pale-
coach.
Kind of pamphlet, maybe? Leather pamphlet?
Kind of leather.
It's
Lovely.
a very pale kind of leather.
Right, I think we all know what that is.
Yeah.
Let's not look at that too closely. Last time we were near one of these things, we got slightly radiation-y sick. So I'm going to pull the cradle, what I nicked from Zenith,
Yep.
out my bag, and I'm going to try and fit it over / onto the dodecahedron to contain its vileness.
Okay. Could you make just to see if you don't outrageously cock it up, a
Here
Dex
we
and
go.
technology roll?
Oh, Dex and Tex.
See, if only you had like a specialism in Dex, like steady hand.
Oh, if only I did. If only I did that bit of the manual before I played a game I'd never played before.
He's got that next week, though.
There we go.
Sorry, you
Ding.
can choose to add that as a specialism now because it is something that has turned out to be relevant to you. So if you want
Okay.
to add that as a specialism on your character sheet for future use, you're more than welcome to do so.
Right.
But yes, it takes you very little difficulty to use the flaps from the Zenith housing to flip the polyhedron into it and seal it. And you don't feel sick or get the radiation wobbliness from it.
Oh, well, that went better than last time. I didn't get stabbed. Sorry, Tiana. And we're not sick. So, yay, win.
Yay.
This is
You
still
are
good.
still, however, underground in a torture chamber.
We are still underground in a torture chamber. And it does kind of feel like we just sacrificed two things to something. we
Owned
didn't
by a
want to.
kleptocratic
Mm.
billionaire.
Yeah. What could possibly go? Hey ho. Where's Greg with that tea?
He's not coming down here. Right, what do you want to do?
Are there any papers? Is there anything?
It's not written on paper.
The clever. Oh yeah, I'm stepping away from the pale leather. We'll let other people deal with that.
Is it still weird and woobly in the spirit
Yes.
world?
Yes, it is. That's going to be a long time before it's gone.
Yeah, it needs
And
to
we'll
be
probably still need
Yeah.
proper clearing.
sterilized. We
Right,
can take
do
photos of the
you-
unsettling leather.
Yes, let's have some intelligence occult, perception occult. Everybody pick some kind of role that you feel would be appropriate. One of any kind. Give me the two stats that you think work, and we'll see what you can glean from it. You're looking at things like investigation, occult, arcana. Oh no, arcana's D&D, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wrong game.
Perception occult.
So yeah, perception
Raven
occult would be a good one.
Intelligence investigation?
Intelligence investigation's a good one. Awareness could also be a thing.
Is this visually based?
Yep, it's visually based.
Good.
Wits and cosmology.
Wits and cosmology is fine too, yeah.
Wits awareness.
Wits awareness is actually okay, yeah.
Can I have a difficulty?
I'm going for 6s on all of them for the time being.
4.
Right, so Claire, what did you roll? You rolled investigate, didn't you?
Yes.
So you got 4 successes to investigate, which shows up that, yes, this is a room designed to break people, but it does appear to be designed to break people in a very specific way. This is the kind of room you would use to torture people, to getting them to convert, to give up and wholeheartedly embrace your philosophy in lieu of their own, just to make the hurting stop. Wits and cosmology wise, there's
got no
nothing
successes.
particularly spacey in here that gives you the right kind of cosmology vibe. There are sort of occasional bits of astrological symbology dotted around, but they all look to be sort of wrong or out of place, certainly out of date. You know, ancient stars without number kind of thing.
This is
Nonsense.
cosmology in this context isn't about stars.
No, it's about the
different dimensions.
Yeah.
But I got
Hence-
no successes anyway.
hence the subtle ancient stars without number.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever is going on here, it is outside of the realm of your experience. It's not stuff you've encountered. Auden, what were you rolling? You were rolling
Perception and occult.
perception and occult. Right. Yes, this is more than just a torture chamber. This is an indoctrination room as well. This is designed to magically break someone's spirit so that things from beyond the veil can inhabit, conjoin, merge with, and become part of them.
Ooh, make people into hosts.
Yes.
Gosh, that's
And-
really quite unpleasant.
Claire P, what were you rolling?
Wits awareness.
Wits awareness. Yeah, this is a spooky room of badness. This is from what you've seen and from what the others have said, putting it all together, it would look like this is a much more advanced version of the torture chamber that they told you about in the back of the off license. So whereas instead of sending people away to overseas, it would look more like this is a place where someone is coming to oversee the process of this being done. This is definitely more of a management thing than a get my flunkies to make monsters for me kind of thing. This is I think if you want a job done, do it yourself kind of vibe. Okay, so if you want to share your various findings. Dave, one last thing. Could you make an intelligence academics check?
Difficulty?
6s.
Junior.
Remember the dragon's breath, Red.
Oh,
Remember the dragon's breath.
I feel your pain. I really do.
While you can't read it, you recognize the things scratched on that leather, which, let's face it, if you're honest, is really just a fleshy membrane.
Nice.
Not another one.
Is some kind of ancient script, cuneiform, something like that. But you don't speak it and you don't recognize it.
Let's take a photo.
Okay, but that's what you found in this room.
Right. Do we want to leave the altar of evil here? Do we want to destroy it? Do we want to take it with us?
Again, I don't think we had the resources to properly sterilize this place.
I don't think we do.
We could destroy it with fire.
Yeah.
Or there's the old call the technoxy down on it.
I'm tending towards that. They can clean it properly.
What are you going to do with the case and the polyhedron?
I was going to take it with me.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that incredibly ill-advised move.
Well, I'm not leaving it here.
No, fair enough. You're not dropping it in the Thames either. I don't want to see what they start fishing out.
Tentacles. I'm thinking lots of tentacles.
We're not pulling out a tentacle puppy just to play with. It's wrong.
Oh, I've always wanted a tentacle puppy.
Right. What's the next move?
Run or hobble?
You've now
in my
investigated all 4 of the bomb sites.
I'd like to go home and have a cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Yeah,
I need coffee. I need coffee. Possibly coffee with Kahlua in it.
All right.
And also, ow!
You got that nice bottle of gin? That might help the pain.
Yeah, why not? Let's try that.
Let's
Right,
head back
so
to base.
you're heading back to base. So you back up in the lift you go.
Spoon!
Yeah. Do we want
Spatula.
and can we, by we, I mean the more technically minded, rig the lift so that it won't actually go back down to the sub-basement? Because if anyone goes down there,
probably
they're going to find
it.
a mess.
Can I try reprogramming it?
Yes, that's an intelligence and technology roll. One of your favorites. Not your absolute favorite, but it's up there. Yeah, you pull out some wires and cross them over with other wires and push wires into other wires until you reckon that now if anybody presses the sub-basement or uses the key to get to the sub-basement, they'll end up on the top floor.
There we go.
Excellent. That was what I was aiming for.
That would be nice. Thank you very much.
Every time, frustratingly so.
Yes.
Hey, your key is now a key to the penthouse.
Yeah, we should just try and make ourselves look slightly less like we've just been in some sort of firefight.
Is anybody going to perform any first aid on Tiana?
Yeah, I
That'd be
will.
nice.
As
Right,
she's
well.
Put a
bleeding
coat on her.
profusely from a hole in her side.
All right. Why didn't you say something? Oh, I've got
I
a
thought it was
tissue.
obvious.
It's just a flesh wound.
No, it's not. It really, really hurt.
He pierced your fleshy membrane. Yeah, I know.
People use the term flesh wound like that's a good thing.
All right, I will perform some first aid. Presuming this is some sort of medicine role.
It has been duly noted on YouTube that I have inherited Pete's bad luck with the dice this week, which is fine because we want the players to win because it's better that way. You are the protagonists. It's not us versus them.
We are very grateful.
Go
Yes.
players!
Woo!
Yay!
Right, so you,
Given our range of skills, I think that was lucky.
yeah, mages aren't really built for combat very much, are they?
Really not.
So you patch up Tiana as best you can, and you sort of head out.
Try and cover up the wounds and the blood. And it was a pink top, wasn't it, Charles?
It was a pink shirt.
That's just as well.
Nice big donkey jacket over the top. No one needs to know.
Yeah.
Yes, it was chilly down there. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm wearing a jacket
So-
over my owl.
Greg comes up on your way out. He's got a little tray of 3 polystyrene cups and a bottle of Lipton raspberry iced tea.
Raspberry.
But
What
are
are
they-
raspberry for?
Are these okay? Is that what you wanted? I didn't know how much sugar or milk, so I've just brought some sugar along. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Oh, you're very thoughtful. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Everything
All the
okay?
sugar.
Yeah, fine.
Okay,
We're all done.
fantastic. Brilliant. Do you have the tablet?
We go to the guys downstairs. They said they'd be
Okay.
able to give it back to you.
Oh, the window goes. Yeah, that's not a problem. I'll collect it from them. If you just want to sign out then and leave the PPE, that's
Yep.
great.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for your help. And the tea. I shall neck the one with the most sugar in it.
Right. And
Oh.
out you go.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Stay lucky.
Cheerio.
Yeah, you hop back in the motor and head back to
motor.
HQ.
Oh, I'm gonna go home.
Are they leather seats or cloth ones?
Mondeo. It's probably cloth.
Because I'm probably bleeding on it.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's well. If you're in the front, it's had worse.
I
Now the seats
remember.
match.
Right. I think I've got to pack it in about there.
Yes, that's a good time to wrap it up anyway. So you drive back to base and we'll pick you up from there next session. We're getting a little bit close to your deadline for the money transfer because it's been a couple of days now. So you've probably only got a day or two left to investigate before you actually have to get proper stuck in with the heist.
Yeah, we might want to focus on that and stop getting injured.
Uh-huh.
You're too tired for the heist. We'll be like, no, we're done.
Oh,
We're
whatever.
out. This got
We're
too
not-
complicated.
I'm just going to stand in front of that traffic warden and let him shoot me. I'm done. Just do it. I
What the
don't
hell kind of
care
traffic
anymore.
wardens are you used to seeing?
I'm just flashing forwards there, foreshadowing.
Yeah. But there we go. So that was this week's episode of Ascension Heist. Our players have investigated all 4 of the mystery sites now and uncovered what lies beneath. Creepy evilness. Still not entirely sure how it relates to Caton Holdings and Investments or Damien Kindler or just how far out of his depth that poor man probably is. But that is yet to be found out. Now all we've got to do is focus on nicking all of his cash and doing him over. Next week, we will not be doing Ascension Heist. Next week, we're going to be launching a Pathfinder game, and then we'll be back the week after with more Mage. So thank you very much for joining us on this evening of evenings. I hope the weather has been better where you are than it has been where I am. It's been a bit of a bleh day today. But I always look forward to a bit of gaming in the evening. So thank you very much, players. Thank you very much, viewers. And I will sort out XP in the meantime. Thank you.
Thank you.
and
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I think the stream might still be on, so I need to let Pete come along and murderize that. But yeah, next week we're going to be doing a little bit of Pathfinder 2nd Edition in an adventure in a homebrew setting of my own devising, which is a desert setting called the Ajkar's Desert. Little bit Dune, little bit of Dark Sun, little bit of personal experience from growing up in the Middle East as a teenager. I might do a solo stream at some point in the next week to go through some of the world building on that and talk it through with folks if there's interest for such. But otherwise, any second now, Pete will suddenly and magically appear and shut down the streams.
It's because we've all gone wonky on Twitch.
We have all gone wonky on Twitch now
Yeah,
because
a little
people
bit
have started
skew-whiff
dropping
on
out.
YouTube
So,
as well.
No, is it